In Winona, police officers found the bodies of Bertha Tardy, Derek Bobo Stewart, Robert Golden, and Cameron Rigby in a downtown furniture store. The investigation began. Winona was a small town, and it didn't take long for suspicion to land on former Tardy furniture employee Curtis Flowers.
Well, for investigators and prosecutors, it always has been Flowers, but over the years there have been 6 trials, dozens of jurors and witnesses who changed their testimony. There have been mistrials and overturned convictions as well. The latest coming from the U.S. Supreme Court, of course, this past summer. Today, when he went back to court, our Cash Matlock was there. He joins us in the studio now with more on what went on in court today. Cash?
Guys, the courtroom was full this morning. On one side of the aisle, family and friends of Curtis Flowers. They sat right behind him. On the other side, family of the victims. Each side waiting to hear just what the judge would say.
It is the finding of this court that Mr. Flowers is entitled to bail. This court hereby sets Mr. Flowers' bond in the sum of $250,000.
It took less than 30 minutes for Judge Joseph Loper to give Curtis Flowers a chance at a life on the outside.
We're very pleased with the judge's decision on bail. For the first time in 23 years, Curtis Flowers will be out of prison. He's very much looking forward to spending time with his family.
And they were there, his aunts, his dad, his cousins. But one person was missing, who faithfully visited him once a week, died just months short of seeing him home. But his cousin says she knows.
Lady, your baby is home. That's what I can say. This is just a tribute to his mother because she's not here to see it, but she always had the faith to know he was coming home.
His attorney says he should have never been in jail.
The state of Mississippi should have never brought this case in the first place. Since then, it has just been a litany of misconduct that's led us to this situation 23 years later.
There have been plenty of allegations of misconduct, most of them pointed at District Attorney Doug Evans. Evans has led the prosecutor's team on all 6 trials, but he was not in court today.
It's Doug Evans' choice not to come to this hearing. The fact that he didn't come to try to defend what has happened shows that it's not defensible.
And in the end, the judge agreed with Flowers and his defense attorneys.
Considering all these factors, the court is the opinion that in the least reasonable doubt as to Mr. Flowers' guilt can be entertained.
And those words were a long time coming for the people sitting behind him.
But he got his family back.
Definitely an emotional day in the courtroom. However, there is still no closure for the families of the victims.
Yeah, and Cash, the judge had some pretty harsh, you alluded to it in your story, but the judge had some pretty harsh words for prosecutors or the state of Mississippi.
He did, Joey, and basically this is kind of how we break it down. There are 3 things that Judge Loper was not pleased with. The defense filed for bail for Curtis Flowers. They also filed to disqualify Doug Evans as the district attorney. They also filed to dismiss the indictment, and the prosecution failed to provide a written response to all 3 of those things, and the judge actually issued this warning.
So I just will have this caution for the state of Mississippi: if it continues in its dilatory conduct and if it continues to ignore orders issued by the court, the state of Mississippi will reap the whirlwind.
And Cash, you talked about Curtis Flowers' family being in the courtroom today, but also the families of the victims of the murders were also there. What was their reaction today?
So, Audrey, we did reach out and we spoke to several of the family members that were there today. However, they all declined comment, and they did not want to release any sort of statement today. So,
All right. Emotional day really for everybody in that courtroom, for sure.
It really was, and it's completely understandable.